Hot news today. Trump announces $200 billion in deals with UAE AI agreement. Also signed ahead of peace talks, Zelensky says, Russia does not want to end war. Trump announces $200 billion in deals with UAE AI agreement. Also signed, a White House fact sheet said Trump had secured $200 billion in new US-UAE deals and accelerated the previously committed $1.4 trillion. Abu Dhabi. President Donald Trump on Thursday pledged to strengthen U.S. ties to the United Arab Emirates and announced deals with the Gulf state totaling over $200 billion. And the two countries also agreed to deepen cooperation in artificial intelligence. After Trump's meeting with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the White House said he announced deals that included a $14.5 billion commitment from Etihad Airways to invest in 28 Boeing 787 and 777X aircraft powered by engines made by GE Aerospace. The U.S. Commerce Department said the two countries also agreed to establish a US-UAE AI acceleration partnership framework. And Trump and Sheikh Mohammed attended the unveiling of a new 5-gigawatt AI campus, which would be the largest outside the United States. Sources have said the agreements will give the Gulf country expanded access to advanced artificial intelligence chips from the U.S., after previously facing restrictions over Washington's concerns that China could access the technology.
Trump began a visit to the UAE on the latest stage of a tour of wealthy Gulf states after hailing plans by Doha to invest $10 billion in a U.S. military facility during a trip to Qatar. "I have absolutely no doubt that the relationship will only get bigger and better," Trump said in a meeting with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. "Your wonderful brother came to Washington a few weeks ago and he told us about your generous statement as to the $1.4 trillion, Trump said, referring to a UAE pledge to invest $1.4 trillion in the U.S. over 10 years. Trump was referring to Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Sheikh Mohammed's brother and the UAE's national security advisor and chairman of two of Abu Dhabi's deep-pocketed sovereign wealth funds. The U.S. president was met at the airport in Abu Dhabi by Sheikh Mohammed, and they visited the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, its white minarets and domes, impressive in the late afternoon light. "It is so beautiful," Trump told reporters inside the mosque, which he said had been closed for the day. "First time they closed it. It's in honor of the United States. Better than in honor of me. Let's give it to the country. That's a great tribute."
Ahead of peace talks, Zelensky says, Russia does not want to end war, Russia-Ukraine. Peace talks, the Istanbul delegation will be led by Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and will include military and intelligence officials. Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Thursday announced that a Ukrainian delegation will participate in talks with Russia in Istanbul, with the primary goal of achieving a ceasefire. The Istanbul delegation will be led by Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and will include military and intelligence officials. Talks between Ukrainian and Russian diplomats are scheduled to take place in Istanbul today, according to a Turkish Foreign Ministry source quoted by the German news agency DPA, as reported by DW News. In a post on X, Zelensky wrote, "I want to sincerely thank President RT Erdogan, his team, and the people of Turkey for their support of Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty." President Erdogan reaffirmed during our meeting today that he supports Ukraine and recognizes Crimea as part of Ukraine. "We demonstrated the strength and seriousness of our delegation, which includes the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the head of the Office of the President, the Minister of Defense, the Chief of the General Staff, the head of the Security Service of Ukraine, and representatives of all our intelligence agencies. I want to emphasize that Turkey has welcomed us with a delegation of equal standing at the highest level. Unfortunately, after learning the composition of the Russian delegation, it became clear that they are not approaching real talks seriously," the Post added. Despite expressing doubts about Russia's commitment to negotiations, Zelensky emphasized that Ukraine is proceeding with the talks out of respect for Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and US President Donald Trump. Zelensky said, nevertheless, despite the extremely low level of the Russian delegation, out of respect for President Trump, for the high-level delegations present in Turkey, and for President Erdogan, and out of a sincere desire to take at least the first steps toward de-escalation and ending the war, beginning with a ceasefire, I have decided to send a Ukrainian delegation to Istanbul. Not all members of our delegation will go. The head of the security service and the chief of the general staff will not attend. However, the Ukrainian delegation in Istanbul will be led by the Minister of Defense, Rustem Umerov. He will be joined by military professionals and intelligence officers. Zelensky further said that Russia is not taking the talks seriously and does not genuinely want to end the war. As for the agenda, the mandate for our delegation is clear. Ceasefire is priority number one. I remain convinced that Russia is not serious about these meetings and does not genuinely want to end the war. But we'll see if they are willing to show at least something during the discussions, Zelensky said. Reference NDTV. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.